You're watching The Last Stand with Brian Custer.
That's right. It is The Last Stand. I'm Brian Custer. We bring you the biggest names in the sport. Let me tell you something. Joining me today is a guy I've been waiting to talk to for quite a while. I mean, he is former trainer of the year. He's not only the trainer, manager of 3 division world champion. He was the youngest undisputed lightweight champion in the sport of boxing. Devin Haney, his father, Bill Haney, making his debut on The Last Stand. Bill,
Hey.
is I've been waiting. I've been waiting, Bill. I've been
We
waiting.
done, we done made it to the mountaintop, Devin. We over here with Brian. You did. Listen, let's get the intro right. We're former manager of the year and we were runner-up trainer of the year, Brian. I mean, we were this close.
Oh.
But listen, I want to let him know the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth on The Last Stand.
So Devin was last in the ring in November. He dominated Brian Norman. I mean, let's be honest, he did. He dominated him. I think realistically, when do you think we will see him back in the ring?
Well, I mean, it looks like he's not going to get in the ring until someone thinks that they're going to dominate him again, because that's what they thought, Brian. Listen, it was built up for him to lose. They were questioning his mental fortitude. They said PTS. I can't even spell the rest. But I told Dev, I said, you know what? This will be the last time that they'll doubt your mental, because I know what the kid is made of. So I mean, we're waiting in Deebo fashion. He only pulls up if you got something that he's interested in. It's hardware and accolades, and more importantly, if the people believe in you, Devin is going to pull up on you. So watch out what you're doing in boxing right now.
Tell me what are you interested in? What interests you in a fight in an opponent next for Devin?
Well, like I said, what interests me, what gets us up is the people that you guys, including you, Brian, because we listen to you a lot. A lot of times it's who the people like, I mean, the hit list is known. We have a bunch of bad motor scooters on the hit list. Of course, a lot of those guys don't want to step up. So we're doing a new one. I mean, and we're adding some honorable mentions. We got to take off Mario Barrios. I mean, he didn't look like he was ready to do anything. I mean, we put him on there because he was a warrior, but he didn't quite show warriorous energy, I should say, in that performance. But we got to take him off, and we got to add a new guy, another bad motor scooter out of Puerto Rico, Xander Zayas, and the opportunity for Devin to be a 4-division world champion, Brian. Did you hear what I said? At 27 years old, 4-division world champion, youngest undisputed champion, and cooking with hot grease.
So you dropped a hit list. It was a list of 10 names. Obviously, now you've had the update. Can you give us? Do you know off the dome the 10 names that's on this hit list?
Well, it's all the bad motor scooters in or around this division. You know the names, and they're on the list. I mean, you got Shakur Stevenson. You got Jaron Ennis. You have Tank Davis. You have, we didn't leave nobody out. Of course, you got Connor Ben. You got Ryan Garcia. In no particular order. You have, Brian Norman was on the list when everybody had witnessed him knock a man into unconsciousness for 2 or 3 weeks. The guy woke up, Brian, I'm going to tell you. He woke up and he said that Brian Norman can punch like hell, but you bet not face Devin Haney. That's what he tried to tell him. But Brian Norman and his dad didn't listen. So off the list they go with what is respected, a loss. But listen, we're going to add Xander. We're going to take Mario Barrios off. I mean, I think Keyshawn, he did nothing but talking. I mean, we might want to I'm in Hollywood, so we might want to get him a script in one of the movies he seems like he's portraying. And he portrayed one of the guys that picked up a brick and cheated. Now, if that ain't saying something to you, he said, I got a brick. Instead of saying I got a brick, he literally had a brick, Brian. You see what I'm saying? But I told him this. I said, Keyshawn, I said, now look, we're going back and forth. You don't really have a bunch of things that Devin should want. But you're on the list because you are a bad motor scooter. Don't fail me. If you really want this thing, we're in the DMs talking about it. I said, listen, we can make it happen. Ryan, can you believe I started to go make the thing happen? And he came out after he had already looked me in the eyes and told me he wouldn't do the unthinkable. You know what he did? He called out Lewis. He came out and called out Lewis Crocker. I said, if this ain't a crock of you know what, Brian. So off the list he goes for playing. You dig? And I'll be giving you I'll be updated with another guy shortly on our next episode.
Okay. So yeah, I was gonna say that because Keyshawn, he said he went to your house, put it on social media. Said, Bill Haney, where are you? I'm out here outside your house. It sounded, listen, he was on the last stand and he said it. I want light skin. I want light skin, and said he wanted Devin Haney.
Until light skins show up. Because listen, when I got a chance to talk to him and I got a chance to DM, he said, no speak English. Talk to my manager. Talk to someone else. I know speak. I say, oh, if you know speak, you know fight. That's what I said. You know, if you're doing all that talking, excuse me, if you're doing all that walking, you should be able to do some talking. Listen, the best thing that can happen is some fighters can realize either let the manager do the talking, let the manager do the picking, and then let that be. I mean, you hear Devin so eloquently say, listen, it's who my dad picks. So that's what I'm doing, right? But then when you have other fighters who attempt to do what I'm doing, when you got a manager, you got a promoter, and you're not unified when you come on the Brian Custer show, I mean, and you take the last stand, then you're not doing it any injustice.
Yeah.
Injustice, I should say. You're doing it an injustice.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Tank Davis says,
I've been wanting to talk about Tank Davis on Brian Custer ever since he was offered, or I should say, ever since he was asking for 2, 3, 4 Ferraris and a bunch of other stuff. You know, I've been wanting to get on here to talk about that.
Calvin Ford said, listen, he's coming back. He's coming back this summer. And he said, we want to fight the guy who y'all want him to fight because we want to see the best out of him. Do you think we will see Tank Davis and Dev?
Well, if he does fight Devin, he might get a chance to get a real Mercedes in that driveway instead of acting like you know what these guys are doing? They're doing a whole bunch of acting. You're acting like you're going down there to get the Mercedes based on what Tank did. You know, I got a real one over here, right over there, Brian. It's not too far that Devin paid for it. That'll show you how much he cares about me and everything that we're doing. We are unified. I mean, like this.
And
so Tank, I want him to come back. I want him to come back to boxing, and hopefully that Mercedes can come to your driveway, Calvin Ford.
Let me ask you a question. How did you come up with the Deebo moniker? Tell me, out of everything, you know, because people thought of, and they say Devin, skilled boxer, great jab. He just beats people with. Deebo's known for bullying people. How did you?
Absolutely. You saw him bully. You saw him bully on Lomachenko when no one wanted to fight him. Listen, Tank Davis, Lomachenko pulled up on Tank Davis with the help of Floyd Mayweather. And what did Tank do? Went the other way. Listen, Gary Russell pulled up on Bud Crawford. What did Devin do? He pulled up on Gary Russell. Listen, let me tell you, when he got off the airplane, let me rewind back. Before we got off the airplane, when we're 3,000 feet in the air, after we've already fought George Kambosos twice in his hometown, because, you know, we had to pull that belt up off of him, something that Lomachenko didn't want to go to Australia and do. He said to me, the audacity, with 3,000 feet in the air, and he says, I want Lomachenko. You want Lomachenko, now you want Lomachenko's legacy. Lomachenko is the greatest amateur boxer ever. And you want to take the belts back to Las Vegas, the hometown of Bob Arum, and you want to give him action at the belts and then take him right back away. If that doesn't sound like Deebo energy, I don't know what. And now you want to pull up on Xander Zayas at 154 pounds, and you listen, and guess what you said? Guess what Deebo said? He says, I didn't know he had 2 belts. I said, oh, shit. Now, if that's not Deebo energy, and those are just a couple of instances where he's Deebo'd the game.
Yeah. Tell me, what is it? What is it that you see in Xander Zayas, who's now unified at 154, that you say, I'm gonna move up from 147 and go attack this guy?
I don't think we're looking at the guys personally. I think we're looking at the moves and the steps to the Mount Rushmore of boxing. At 27 years old, you have to challenge yourself. And ultimately, like I say, we don't get a fight unless they think we stand a chance to lose on that night. Excuse me, let me say it again. We don't get a fight unless they think we stand a chance to lose on that night. And at 27, I mean, it's a great position to be in, Brian. I mean,
another guy who's called out, Dev, Richardson Hitchens, who we had on the last stand, who obviously had some weight issues and not making the fight against Duarte. What are your thoughts about Richardson Hitchens?
great time and a great opportunity for me to introduce his real name. And I hope it doesn't get bleeped. It's Richard Bitchin' son, because we gave him an opportunity, Deebo did, because he was yapping, and he made the honorable mention list himself. And when it came time, he said his manager had a deal for him and Teofimo Lopez, that they had the same manager. Can you believe that? And they couldn't even get it together. But I didn't call him Bitchinson for dropping out of that fight. I knew he had a little bit of that Bitchinson in him. And it shows when he was facing that tough guy, that tough Mexican fighter, Oscar Duarte. Oscar Duarte, he looked like he was coming to put on some damage. Well, listen, Richard Hitchinson, don't rely on your strength and rely on getting back. Rely on your skills and do the Devin Haney, do the Devin Haney. Huh? Do the Devin Haney, do the Devin Haney. And then when I say do the Devin Haney, I mean make weight every time and show up and show out. It doesn't matter. We didn't have the most great weight cut. Listen, we had a guy that came in 3 pounds heavier, and we didn't want to let the people down. And guess what Stephen A. said? He said we were crazy for doing it for the people. Well, if you're not doing it for the people, then how can you ever get something from the people? And 3 pounds, not feeling oh so well, 3 knockdowns, and still they didn't give him his props and say that Devin was a warrior. They said that he was crazy. They said that he shouldn't have done it. They said, what's wrong with the dad? Well, we say we do it for the people. And sometimes doing it for the people, you can't get cheated.
We got to talk about Shakur. Shakur had a great performance against Teofimo, and obviously I guess Shakur and Devin had some.
I don't know if it was a great performance. I'm going to say that Teofimo has really, he kind of got exposed to who he really is from a skill set perspective. He was always running a tough right behind the guys. And he's mentioned that. When I say the guys, I mean the Shakur Stevenson, the Devin Haneys, the Jaron Boots Ennis's, the guys that were, and of course, the Ryan Garcias, the guys that were having the nationals and had all the fanfare. He was maybe a distant second behind those guys. We sparred him before. We knew a lot about Teofimo Lopez. I mean, Deebo has been on his heels for years about that fight. I told Shakur Stevens, I said, congratulations, you got him. When I said it, you did. So it wasn't surprising. It was something that I believe Shakur would have did, that I believe Devin would have did exactly what Shakur did to him. Embarrassing.
Well, you saw that Ryan called out Shakur and said, let's get this thing on. Do you think those two will fight? And what do you think would happen if those two got it on?
I don't think and see how in the world we can trust Ryan Garcia to go down to 40 pounds when you said you couldn't make 40 pounds. And that was, you fought 47 twice since then. So you fought at 43, 47, 47, and now you're going to come back to 40 because Deebo is on your ass. If that ain't the most ludicrous, absurd shit to ever say, and I'm so happy to bring light to this BS on Brian Custer's show.
Yes. Listen, we had Ryan on. Man, he had a lot to say about Dev. He had a lot to say about you.
But let me tell you, you can have him on, but it's always something a little off about him and the shit that he say. It's not adding up. It's not matching up. You have a belt. Devin has a belt. It's the biggest fight in boxing, and you're talking about going down to a weight that you said that you were inadequate in. So what does that tell you about Deebo?
Now, do you want that fight again with Ryan Garcia?
I mean, we were already, do we want it? That is a hog needs slop. That is a fish need water. Huh? And I can say a bunch of other things that, you know what I mean, I say that I needed badass, but let's just leave it at that. Do we want it? I mean, we were supposed to do it before he went with Rolly. Then he blew the bag with Rolly. And then we set up and we talked about it, and they talked about PTS and all this other shit. It's over with, Oscar. It's over with. Lions, the hiding, the ducking, the playing, the comedian shit that you guys are doing. And that's what I do have to say enough of. On the last stand, let it be the last time we let these jokers get away with comedy. They've turned into comedians. And, you know, listen, you'll never hear Roberto Duran cracking a joke. You never seen Tommy Hearns cracking a joke. Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard. What is all this jokey joke shit for? Huh? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I got the baddest guy in boxing, period. Listen, and guess what? Guess how we got here, Brian? You know how we got here?
Wow.
We didn't have to use the machine. And in all your years of watching, of covering boxing, have you seen anything like this before, Brian?
No, that's a good point. It's a good
Thank
point.
you, sir.
I saw you do an interview, and you were talking about that fight, and you said, listen, I didn't put Dev in a good situation the first time around with Ryan. Tell me what you meant about that, and how will it be different the second time if that comes about?
Well, I mean, the obvious. The fighter can't do the business, dot the I's, cross the T's, and micromanage the agreement and or contract. What Devin said is that he wanted to fight. What I didn't do my due diligence in is bringing the fight in enough time where Ryan wouldn't have been able to have any effects from the PEDs, period. It should never been in his system. He should have never been in the ring with Devin with it in his system. And that's what I believe.
Do you think that, because one thing with Ryan, you just got to get past all the talking. I think he does a lot of that stuff to try to mess with you. And you got to stay focused on.
Mess with me? How can he mess with me with only one championship? You can't mess with me. And my son is. Did you hear what Andre Ward, Tim Bradley, and all the other greats said? They said Devin is a future Hall of Famer. So how can a guy with one belt mess with me? We on our way to the Hall of Fame, brother. You just another stepping stone to solidifying what a great career Devin has already had and soon to have. Inshallah, God willing.
What is more likely, you think, this year? Dev and Ryan, Dev and Xander Zayas?
If it ain't Dev and Ryan, then Ryan is doing the lion.
Look, and let me tell you this. This is a serious question too. I want to know, when it comes to Bill Haney, is everything he says, is it serious, or is some of it like hyperbole to draw the attention, get that attention, and get fights made?
Well, you know me, right? And you know my background. Hyperbole is a big word that I don't understand.
Yeah, I just want to know, do you say things for, let's say, the comedic draw attention?
Absolutely not.
Or are you always 100% serious?
Oh, absolutely not. For one, I'm extremely proud and happy of the guy that I represent. You know what I mean? I don't have any allegiance to anyone other than Devin. I've never went into a meeting, went into anything and says, hey, listen, if I bring Devin to you, you can do this for me. Devin is the boss, right? And with any boss that we all have, we must do our very best. And if we believe in the job that we're doing, then you'll see the passion, you'll see the determination, you'll see the focus that I have, the confidence, and everything that we're doing because we put in the work to get here. This is no joke. They're the ones that's doing the joking. We're the ones that's doing the fighting. Hey, listen, let me tell you, what is it to joke about? How can you make jokes when he's the youngest and he did the most?
In your opinion, what makes Devin Haney so special as a fighter?
God, strictly, it's a God-given talent. It's a commitment that he's committed to the vision that he has. Of course, he has a great team, and we get behind the vision. He sees himself doing it, and we back that. But it's strictly a talent that comes from God. And along with shout out to some wonderful professors that we've learned the game from. You know, started with my Oakland big homie, Virgil Hunter, trainer to Andre Ward. We spent a lot of time with Floyd Mayweather Sr., Roger Mayweather, and shout out to Jeff Mayweather, who we was with him at one time first, you know, learning the game. So when you talk about these classes that you take to get to become a master, you know, we've done it. We've spent enough times learning the game, and that's just where we are. That's the confidence that you've seen because we've heard it and learned it from the best.
How much did all those sparring sessions he had with Floyd help him now? Because of going through those sessions, it's like, yo, you can put anybody in front of me now. I'd have been with the GOAT.
Well, not only with Floyd Mayweather Jr. A sparring session that I'm proud about, because when I say proud, I'm proud that he's working. Don't get it twisted. You know, everything happens under the lights, but at the same time, I've been so proud and showing everyone the work that we put in. That was one sparring session, but we had to knock on Shakur Stevenson's door because we knew that he was a super talented amateur, decorated at the time. We knocked on his door in Newark. Of course, we had to knock on Gervonta Davis's door in Baltimore as well because he was extremely, and he was a pro. You know, we saw Shoo and Richard Hitchinson and all these guys in Brooklyn. We went to see them as amateurs. So, I mean, we did Teofimo Lopez. We just sparred him. We sparred Ryan Garcia, fought him 3 times, sparred him a bunch of times, 6 times, I should say. Beat him 3 times. He won 3 times, sparred him a bunch of times. So when you talk about actually putting in the work, these guys know behind the scenes, man. My guy is the truth.
I just saw Shakur Stevenson was doing an interview, and he said, yeah, we and Dev always, we did a lot of rounds, a lot of sparring together, but I was always big brother. I don't think there was ever a sparring session where I said he got the best of me. What did you think when you saw that interview?
Well, I don't know what he was working on, but we was working on today. We weren't working on yesterday. We was working on what's happening right now. You dig?
Oh my gosh. Let me ask you this. I'm always with that. How did Bill Haney get into boxing?
Oh, listen, 1998, a star was born. You know, and I never quit on myself. I listen, every door that I went into that closed on me, you know what I mean? I smiled and I said, I'll be back. You did. So when you hit the lap a time or two, you know what I mean, and you've showed the patience. Of course, when you come back in with the real deal, they say, hey, Bill, what you got? And I showed up with a bad motor scooter, and everybody couldn't believe it. But it was a plan from God. It was a plan that he says, listen, if you have this dedication, you have this patience, you have all the other things that I've given you, let me give you something that you can work for, that you can really believe in. And believing in my last name was my biggest bet. Not my first, my last.
When it's all said and done, what do you think they're going to be saying about Devin Haney once he finally hangs him up?
They're gonna say he came in the game and he was challenging himself. He challenged the game. He challenged the opponents. And he challenged the system. I think that what we've done is, and we don't get a lot of credit for it, is that we've challenged a system that was broken. It was a system that didn't cater or support fighters that had visions, fighters that put in work, dads, entrepreneurs, managers that had started and believed in each other that they could get to the top. I think that, a lot of times when you say it hadn't been done, it was strategically, um, being blocked. That's the word. It was strategically being blocked so there wouldn't be someone with this big old smile that I have, right? Because there's other dads that, I mean, man, come on, man. When you break up a son and a father, you break up a home. You break up a generation to come. You know what I mean? You do more than what they've been doing. And you know what? It's not that, Brian, it's not that it's not extremely comfortable to be signed to a promotional outfit like Mayweather Promotions, or to be with a Jay-Z, or, you know what I mean, Top Rank or like, you know what I mean? But it would have been a misdescription of the story that a father and a son and a father can do it.
I like it. What do you think about Floyd Mayweather coming back and coming to fight Pacquiao?
Well, I think it's a great fight, a great opportunity to get some money. But don't say you in 147 pounds, because then Deebo might pull up on you too.
You really
know. You said stop. You said stop. And that's the thing about Deebo. Listen, I didn't try to tell you, no, stop. And he does it.
So you think Dev would say, give me Floyd Mayweather, let's get it?
Well, I mean, I know that he enjoyed the sparring session. I know that when they were sparring, I said, Floyd, it's like you looking in a mirror, ain't it? Floyd was mad as a motherfucker when I said that. But I know this, that it would make for an excellent fight between ultimately a professor, a living professor, fighting professor, versus a tremendously talented superstar, both in his prime, and I guess Floyd with the sun setting, maybe, and it would be an ultimate opportunity for Floyd to prove what Bernard Hopkins did at 49 years old. Held it till he was 52. Bad man, Brian. Bernard Hopkins is. Well, Floyd would have an opportunity to do the same. But the man in the division, 147 pounds, is Devin Deebo, the Dream Haney. Has to put the Deebo in there.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to wrap it up with this, and I just want to make sure we know. So obviously, we got a lot of time left in this year. How likely is it that we see Devin Haney versus Xander Zayas?
I'm looking forward to it. Of course, you can never the ultimate grudge match, and I know that everyone should understand that. Ryan, he was at the bottom of the list. He was number 10, right behind Conor Ben. He shot up the list because the people put the target on his back. I mean, they started running all kind of narratives. What a great performance it was, and it was with a guy that if Devin had went up to 147 pounds and fought him first, they would have said Devin was cherry picking. You see what I mean? So we went right at Ryan Norman, the baddest man in the division. Devin is the king of 147 pounds, and it would be absurd for the fight not to happen with Ryan Garcia. Like I said, it will be Ryan Lion if it doesn't happen next.
Okay, so you definitely see that. How likely is it that we ever see Dev and Keyshawn?
If you just tell the truth, we might get somewhere. But at this point in time, I mean, listen, give him a gig in Hollywood, because he ain't never fought nobody like Devin. So, I mean, I gave you a list. I gave you a list. Listen, though, Pete. I gave you a list of bad motor scooters that we doing. It seems that he's only keep clouting for Devin Haney's name. I don't know him saying nobody else.
How likely is it that we see Dev and Gervonta Davis?
Well, let's let Gervonta deal with what he needs to deal with. And when he makes an official announcement and he's coming back and he's fighting, you know what I mean? Then let's talk about it. I mean, the young man has been through enough. You know what I mean? I don't want to sick Deebo on him. Hasn't he been through enough?
Okay. And And then lastly, since we've talked about Xander, because you said that's still a possibility, right? If Ryan is lying, as you say, then it's Xander.
Hey, listen, a real possibility. Xander feels like he can win. Everyone feels like it's a big stretch at 154. So you know that's sitting around. I mean, you got Charlo that then came out and said that he will do something as well. You know what I mean? I just tell Charlo, listen, all respect, what a wonderful career that you've had. Sit tight, and you might get what you're asking for. Right now, we got our eyes on 2 belts. Make no mistake about it. It's extremely tough fight in Xander, but it's food that you can chew.
Okay. Let me tell you something. I've been waiting to do this for a long time, my brother. And look, let's not be a stranger on the last stand. Let's not let this be the last time you on the last stand.
Hey, God willing, we gonna keep on winning, and this won't be the last time you're gonna see me.
I love it. Listen, folks, that's what we do here on the last stand. We bring you the biggest names in the sport. And right there, when you talk about trainer, manager, he's right there at the top. Bill Haney. Appreciate you, my brother. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you again next week. That's right. I am Brian Custer. This is The Last Stand. We certainly appreciate your support, not only listening, watching the show. Make sure you go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell as well, because you don't want to miss the next episode of The Last Stand. You can also listen to the podcast. You can download it, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Podcast Addict, Deezer, or whatever platform you get your podcast on, you can hear The Last Stand. We certainly appreciate the support. Don't forget, download, share it with your friends, and just listen to The Last Stand.